Hey y'all, Miss E here. This week for reading and writing, we are going to be learning about the different elements of poetry. We are going to be looking at rhythm, alliteration, and describing words. I'm so excited to jump into this because this is one of my favorite things to teach. The first thing we're going to be looking at today is rhythm. Now, rhythm is just the words in a poem. They have a beat when you read them. It's a lot like music. Next, we're going to look at alliteration. And alliteration is just when words near each other start with the same sound or sound. So our example on our anchor chart is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Almost all of those words start with a p, which makes it alliteration. Now, the last element of poetry that we're going to be looking at this week is describing words. Words that tell how things look with our eyes, sound, feel, smell, and taste. They help you picture what the poet sees in his or her mind. Now let's take a couple minutes or seconds to look at an example of what this looks like before you go on your own and try to find this in our story of the week. Here's the poem Spring Showers. This poem reads, pitter patter, drip, drip, drop. The rain came down like someone wringing out a mop. Pitter patter, splish, splish, splash. We heard thunder and lightning, a boom and a crash. Pitter patter, glip, glop, glop. We sloshed through the mud until the last drop. Pitter patter, where did you go? The sun was shining so bright, it made a big rainbow. Now, the first thing I noticed while reading this poem is that it has a pattern, it has a beat, it has a rhythm, a lot like some of the songs I listen to. The next thing I noticed was that this poem definitely has alliteration. I see the alliteration of the p sound in pitter patter. I noticed the alliteration of the dr sound at the beginning of the word for drip, drip, drop. And I noticed it in splish, splish, splash. I noticed it in glip, glop, glop. All those things are examples of alliteration because they have the same beginning sound. Now, the last element of poetry that I noticed was describing words. In our poem, Spring Showers, we have a lot of describing words. For example, we have wringing out a mop. The action is wringing. It's describing how the mop is being used. Then we heard thunder and lightning, and it goes even further to describe a boom and a crash. And then it talks about how they're going through the mud. It says we sloshed through the mud. And lastly, it talks about the sun. The sun was shining so bright. So those are the describing words that I see and hear in our poem Spring Showers. You let me know if you see or hear more. And that's going to wrap up our lesson today. This week we are focusing on elements of poetry. Most importantly, we're looking at rhythm, alliteration, and describing words. You're going to be looking for those elements in the story of this week, which will be posted with this activity. So good luck and have fun, and let me know if you have any questions or concerns.